Welcome to this week's edition of CEO Corner. I'm Otis Rawl, President and CEO of the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce. Today I'm happy to have Jay Timmons, Executive Vice President for the National Association of Manufacturers. Jay, thanks for being here at our annual meeting, and thank you for the comments at the presentation a little bit earlier. A lot of news coming out of Washington.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Otis, and there is a lot coming out of Washington, and as I said in the presentation, it's interesting to come from a city where common sense, unfortunately, isn't so common anymore, and it's causing us to have to look at a lot of things that Congress is doing and the administration is proposing and see what the effect of those proposals will be on business.
Well, I know over the last 6, 8, 10 months since the president has taken over, we've gone from employee-free choice to climate control to health care. They kind of flip-flop around, but now it seems like health care is the issue of the hour. And I know that the House passed a version last week, and we're looking at it, trying to decipher what the bill means. Can you talk to us a little bit about what your perception, NAM's perceptions of the bill are, and what can we do to help?
Yeah, the House did pass its version of health care reform, and of all the proposals out there, it's probably the most damaging to long-term economic growth and job creation in this country. We're very concerned about several of the provisions that would increase costs for not only manufacturers but all businesses, would prescribe a minimum level of benefits that the government would decide, and if businesses were not providing those benefits, there would be some pretty onerous penalties assessed to them. And it also would increase taxes on plans that cost a lot of money. And sometimes those are referred to as Cadillac plans. And while that's a great populist way to describe those plans, most employers know that the most expensive plans are those that are provided to workforces where the workers are older.
Right. And
what we don't want to see is we certainly don't want to see older workers penalized.
Right.
And the House bill could do exactly that.
Well, I know that House provision also had what they call technically a small business provision, that you really didn't have to participate if you were less than $750,000 worth of salaries. But when you start talking about small businesses, and they had an employee limit, I think, of 50, really $750,000 picks up a lot of small businesses.
Yeah,
when you start looking.
It picks up a huge amount of small businesses, and right now in this economy, I mean, this is the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. I mean, we have 10.2% unemployment. The real underemployment rate is over 17%, the worst in history. And what we want to make sure that we do, or what the National Association of Manufacturers, and I know the State Chamber of Commerce wants to do, is to make sure that whatever happens in Washington, whether it's coming out of the White House or it's coming out of Congress, it will help the economy, it will create jobs, and it'll lead to long-term economic growth. And these health care bills do not do so. It doesn't mean that we don't think there's a problem. I know that all across the country, and I'm sure in South Carolina, it's exactly the same. Health care costs are skyrocketing. It's a problem for business, it's a problem for employers. 97% of the members of the National Association of Manufacturers provide good quality health care benefits for their employees. We don't want to risk that. We don't want to lose that. And we don't want to see our manufacturers who are providing those benefits have to pay more in taxes. That doesn't make sense.
That makes sense. Well, I know that the House and Senate will be coming home probably in a couple weeks for what they call the Christmas or holidays vacation.
Right.
What can our members do to help NAM, help the U.S. Chamber, help all the business lobbyists in Washington right now?
You know, it seems so simple to say this, but I can't emphasize how important it is. Individual contacts with members of Congress and members of the United States Senate. I used to work on Capitol Hill. I know how important it is to receive a phone call, how important it is for a senator or a member of Congress to receive a letter. Usually a personal handwritten letter is the best way to go, but the most impactful thing that an American can do is personally talk to a member of Congress at a town hall meeting, make an appointment in their home office or their district office, and they're in the phone book, just like any other business, and make an appointment to go in and explain how these proposals will will have a real impact on jobs and their ability to compete and succeed in this economy.